Welcome to Boom or Bust, a draft channel for draft talk. I'm your host Terry, and I'm going to go through the first round of the 2017 draft, or do my best. So I'll be completely honest, I wasn't planning on kicking off this channel and content till next draft where I had time to set up everything, but all this craziness in the first round definitely forced me to get on camera and start shooting out some content. So I'm going to put a link in the description box of my player evaluation so you can see more on what I thought about each player and all the different things like that. And so let's jump into this. First, you got number 1 Cleveland Browns. Did what everybody expected, made the smart pick, Myles Garrett. I have my reservations about Myles Garrett, but you don't pass on that talent in the draft where there's so many different variables. He has the physical traits. You got more than one pick in the first round, so why not bet on the athleticism and see what you can get out of him. Then we go to number 2. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. There's a link in the description. Also, I specifically talked about Chicago Bears and their trade because that's my hometown team. But yeah, I didn't really feel that was a smart move to go up to get Mitch Trubisky. But it definitely shocked the whole draft and kind of sent waves through it. Then you get over to number 3 where the 49ers make out like a bandit. They get some extra picks and then they take their guy Solomon Thomas. Now for me, I think that's good on the surface, looks great. I'm not a fan of Solomon Thomas personally. There's a lot of things about him that I'm like, I don't see a top 5 pick. Definitely a good player, but this next level rusher that everybody's talking about is not there. He can't play on the edge to me. I've seen him. He doesn't have any type of bend, type of lean. He's not a defensive end on the edge. So maybe they're running a 4-3 now or even front. So I'm not sure where he fits. You got the big boys in the middle, and then third down, I guess they're going to rush him from the inside. But I don't see top 5 at all. Then we go to Jacksonville. So this one kind of ended up being like a pick that everybody said before it happened coming up to the draft, but one I never would believe until I actually saw it, just because I'm like, there's not so many holes, but there's other things you could do in Jacksonville, and you're a loaded team, and I just think you paid for a really good running back, you drafted a really good running back, your O-line is not together yet, but then you go and get another running back. So I guess they're trying to take pressure off Bortles, and there's no O-line at this point, but I don't know. To me, it was just, I feel like you could have did something else, but at this point, you've loaded up so much on that defense. Where else could you have gone? And as we saw later, O.J. Howard wasn't as valuable to some teams as they might have thought because of such a deep draft. But anyway, so 5, Corey Davis going to the Titans. Corey Davis and Mike Williams, just look at them both, 5 and 7. Going in the top 10, people had no clue where these people were going. Corey Davis because he didn't work out, and then everyone assumed Mike Williams was the number 1 guy, but he didn't have a lot of versatility to his game, so it was like, okay, he's going to be in the mid-first round. Both of them go top 10. Chargers, I think, makes a lot of sense. You get an accurate guy with Phillip Rivers, and then you got 2 tight ends in the middle that take up a lot of attention, so that works out. Corey Davis, a lot more versatile, a lot more tools than Mike Williams, so I understand them taking that pick. And like I've said before, if you got more than 1 first-round pick, you can reach a little. If this was their only first-round pick, I'm not sure that the Titans go number 5 and get Corey Davis. Maybe they trade back, I'm not sure. But they like the medicals. I'm sure they like the kid. You get a weapon for Mariota, and then also you got a really deep secondary class where you can get somebody later, as they end up doing. And then Jets got Jamal Adams. That was the most surprising pick to me. They made the smart decision. Instead of reaching for a quarterback, trying to trade up, trying to do all this, they take, to me, the best player in this draft, and they keep it rolling with that defensive unit that they got. Because if your offense is going to be in pieces, then at least get that defense together to keep you in games. Then Christian McCaffrey going to the Panthers. Not a big shock, not at all. I like McCaffrey. I've always thought he was probably 1 or 2 for the running backs. just because of what he can do. And it was weird how he got that late rise, but I've always liked McCaffrey. John Ross to the Bengals, that was a little crazy. And it's the medicals. Everybody talks about medicals, and first of all the draft hype, all the mock drafts don't mean crap. If you hear from mock drafts, you'll be disappointed. I don't do mock drafts because it's a waste of time. We do not know what these teams know. Only the teams got the real deep information. So all this John Ross 2 knees don't work, he can't walk across the street, get out of here. Obviously the Bengals know that he's clear enough to go. You get him streaking down the stream with Boyd and AJ on the outside. Hopefully if Eifert healthy, it's a value pick to me, or a luxury pick I should say. There's other things they could have got, but I think you add another weapon. Now, Chiefs trading up to get Mahomes. This is what really makes me mad about the Bears. The Chiefs and the Texans trade up to get quarterbacks. Their trades in comparison with ours don't look super bad. Maybe because they gave up first round picks, it's a little different, but still, they didn't give up, it seems like, as much as we did. And I know it's top 5 pick, but whatever. They come all the way from the 20s up to number 10 to get Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is a project. Everyone knows that. One worth this much? Definitely not. Didn't see this coming because Andy Reid typically likes linemen in the first round, and he typically doesn't reach. So getting Pat Mahomes at number 10, interesting. We'll see. It was interesting to see how all these quarterbacks kind of got put in situations where they're going to sit behind somebody. And as I said during the draft, I think the value of Jimmy Garoppolo really showed teams what you can do with a backup quarterback. Where if you take a guy and he's learning and he's grooming, if he comes in for injury duty, or if he does well in the preseason, or McCarron came in the playoffs because Dalton got hurt, and they do well, value straight through the roof. Where you're talking about, give me two first round picks for this kid. So I think it's a smart bet where you take your veteran, you take your rookie, you let them learn like they used to in the old days, but you let them play a little bit so people say, whoa, maybe I need to trade for this quarterback. So I think that's why these trades popped off like that. I don't think anybody, Chiefs, Bears, Texans, are like, yeah, we're going to make them start day one. It's really about hedging your bet. And you're like, okay, if our veteran doesn't do what I want, then we got this rookie to hopefully gain some value before he starts. Or if he has to take over, hopefully he's good. So you really got a 3-way go. But anyway, Lattimore to the Saints. Saints got to be happy to get the best corner. They really need corner. Hassan Reddick to the Cardinals makes sense. They like smaller, faster guys. They move all around. Barnett to the Eagles. Barnett's the best pass rusher to me. I think Barnett is athletic and smart enough. He could have played outside linebacker. So if the Eagles want to mess around with the fronts, or if they're going to stick with 4 down, I think Barnett works either way. Colts, super happy. They've needed safeties for years, and you get the best center fielder free safety in the whole draft. So medicals check out. I think you'll be okay. With Vontae Davis, if you can get another physical corner, you could play cover 1, man up on the corners, have Malik Hooker play center field, make plays. Marlon Humphrey to the Ravens. They could have picked any Bama guy. They need corner help. It makes sense. I think their front 7 is pretty solid. They put a lot of picks in the front 7 last year, so getting a corner is cool. Jonathan Allen falling, man. You know, arthritis in the shoulders is a long-term issue. That's something that could have scared people off. But going to the Redskins, where you got Preston Smith, you got Ryan Kerrigan, really putting the edge pressure that allows Jonathan Allen to stunt and to really play one-on-one inside as a 4-tech, but he could hold up in the run, so I like that pick. Let's see, we go down. Adoree Jackson to the Titans. Not the cornerback I thought they would have took, but interesting. I think he's a lot better zone corner than people give him. They say he's a project. I think he's maybe not a man guy until you teach him more technique. But in zone, if you give him a zone and teach him to sit there and read, I think he's more than capable to start. And then, of course, his return ability. O.J. Howard, have no idea why he fell, but going to the Bucks, that's big. You get a 2 tight end set. You get a pro offense. You get somebody like Mike Evans, Vincent Jackson taking pressure off the middle. It could be a big play for them. Garrett Bowles, I don't know what offense the Broncos are running. The old Broncos ran outside zone. This was a perfect fit for that. I don't know what they run with their new coach, so we have to wait and see. But the most upside out of any lineman because of his feet. Then we got Gerard Davis to the Lions. That's one people kind of thought was a good fit. Him going before Foster, we'll have to see. But I think Gerard Davis needs better skill taking on blocks. But I like kind of the run and chase ability he's got with those big boys with Ashawn Robinson and Hada and all of them. Then we got Charles Harris on the Dolphins. I don't think he's a 4-3 DN. I think he needs to be a stand-up guy. But with so much talent on that D-line, you probably could mask him and put him in situations to succeed early on. But we'll have to see what they kind of develop him into. I don't think they're going to play him as a linebacker. But we'll see. Evan Ingram to the Giants. Evan Ingram is a 4-4-2 runner. Straight up the seam. OBJ in the slot. You really create matchup problems. But the way Ole Miss used Ingram a lot was with that H-back. And the Giants are one of the teams that use a lot of 20 and 21 personnel where they got two backs. And they use a fullback for lead blocking and all that. So I think Evan Ingram fits in with that as far as moving the fullback out and putting Evan Ingram in. However, Ingram isn't that great of a blocker. So I would like to see what they do with him. I think they're going to use him a lot on screens for OBJ outside because he can really kill corners. But they got to help him out as a blocker. Gary and Conley going to the Raiders after the rape accusation. A lot of things to say about that. Accusations. Yeah, I mean, the Raiders know something. They know something that they trust on him because if you draft him and he goes to jail, you're getting fired as a GM. I don't care how well you've been doing. Jabril Peppers, Browns trading back and getting Jabril. I'm interested to see that. But him and Myles Garrett together brings a lot of energy, a lot of fun to this defense. So I'm excited to see that. We have to wait and see kind of what they're going to do with that defensive unit. But I think you can't go wrong adding that type of piece. Tack McKinley, Falcons coming up to get him. I understand what you see with him and Beasley on the edge. But Tack, I think, is better as an outside linebacker too. Putting his hand in the dirt and teaching him to explode off and lean around the corner is going to take some time. I don't think he has the natural ability Vic Beasley does, but I can understand what they were going for. Tre'Davious White, I've always been mixed on him. The Bills go all the way back to the end of the first and still get a pretty solid corner, so you can't be mad at that. Cowboys Taco Charlton, love the fit. He plays the run. He's a decent pass rusher. I think he could get better, but that's somebody Rob Marinelli could easily get the best of. David Njoku, Browns coming back up to get the tight end. They need weapons. They have like 0 receivers now. Corey Coleman, whatever. So Njoku, I understand it. I like that pick. It'll be interesting. I still think they should have took Reuben Foster. TJ Watt needs to develop. He's a project, but you go Steelers with the long history. Joey Porter as the outside linebacker coach. I like the fit as far as the support system he'll have. That's the place to go to really train his tools up. But right now, he's all ceiling, no floor. Reuben Foster, 49ers come back up and make a huge pick. Thought the Browns should have did this, put Foster with Myles Garrett. But they go with Foster and Solomon Thomas. 49ers make up for that Solomon Thomas pick. And they look pretty good right now. Then the Saints take Ryan Ramczyk. I think he's a natural left tackle. But in this team, he's going to play right tackle. So I don't know how I feel about that. But you got a pretty nice O-line with Larry Warford, Andres Pete. Now you got Ramczyk and Armstead. They really always go all in on offense. So they're trying to protect Breeze. They got AP now. So I like it. So overall, just looking at the first round, like I said, the quarterbacks was the story. And the number one thing people got to remember is that with these rookie scale contracts, it's so much easier to trade now because you don't have huge contracts and you're not getting stuck with paying a ridiculous amount of money. So forever, until they change it, we're going to see a lot more trades than we ever seen in the draft. So, but yeah, overall, like I said, interesting, crazy first round. A lot of people falling into the second round and that we didn't expect, and just people reaching for quarterbacks. But I think the new model is get an enticing backup to really boost your value. That's what I would say, because we went into this draft with there's no first round quarterbacks. Now it's almost none of these quarterbacks are getting out the first round because everybody wanted to come up and get one. So, but anyway, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, thumbs up, subscribe, go to the comment section. Let me know what you thought about your team. I'll be posting more content for this draft. Check out the links, like I said, to the other stuff so you can see my evaluations. Thank you for listening to Boom or Bust.